Hi, first grade. How are you? We are going to be on lesson 17. This is the only video that we're going to have for the week of April 27th through May 1st. So make sure you have all of your supplies. You're going to need your binder, a pencil, anything that comes in that binder, including your alphabet page, things like that. Make sure that you have those. If you don't, pause the video and come right back. But I'm going to go ahead and get started now. So we always start a lesson off by saying our beforehand is our left hand. Our afterhand is our right hand. Okay. What does I represent when we're talking about our lessons? Initial. Good. Now, initial means first. And so if we are talking about the initial letter of the alphabet, what would that be? Of course, it would be A right here. What does F represent when we talk about it in our lessons? F represents final, which means last. And what is the final letter of our alphabet? Let's look over here. Z is the final letter. Now, how many letters do we have in the alphabet? 26. Good. Now, out of those 26 letters, how many sounds can be made? 44. All right. What are the two kinds of letters in the alphabet? Vowels and consonants. Let's say the vowels together. A, E, I, O, U. All right. And all of the other letters are called consonants. What are the two middle letters of the alphabet? Do you remember that? M and N are the very middle letters of the alphabet. Good job. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to say the alphabet, but we're going to do something a little differently today. We're going to say the alphabet, but on every other letter, we're going to put an accent. And let's remind ourselves of what an accent is. An accent is when we say a part of a word, and we say that part of the word louder, longer, and stronger. So we want to make sure that when we say the alphabet, every other letter is going to have an accent, which means we say it louder, longer, stronger. Okay? So for example, I would say A, B, C, D. So do you get the idea of what we would do? All right. Get your alphabet page out. Your alphabet page has a before, the before letters, and then the bottom part are the after letters. And so make sure you have that. I want you to put your before finger on A and your after finger on N. And remember, as we say these, every other letter is going to say or be said with an accent. And I'm going to show that by covering it up more on my page, okay? Or like this. So here we go. A, whoops, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And that's practicing accent, which means we say the letters how? Louder, longer, and stronger. Good. Now, we're going to go to our reading decks, and we're going to start with our letter deck. So let's go through these and just say the letter as you see it with me. S, digraph TH, A, R, V, H, L, W, M, I, Z, K, O, E, N, T, D, digraph NG, P, F, U, B, G. Good. Now we're going to go to our keyword and sounds. So let's get started. Elephant, nest, sink, gate, g, zipper, z, umbrella, wagon, remember that one's the quiet one, s, apple, watch, octopus, rabbit, mop, king, igloo, fish, pig, hat, leaf, dog, thumb, mother, bat, table, violin, kite, Nice job. All right. Let's go on to our learning now. Repeat these words after me as you hear me say them, okay? Is, as, his. Let's do that again. And this time, what sound do you hear that is alike in each of these words? So listen carefully. Is, as, his. Did you hear the z sound in each of these words like I did? Okay. If you have a mirror, look in your mirror as you say that sound. Z. Or you can see me down here. Z. What is your mouth doing? Your teeth are a little bit together like a fence, and you're pulling your lips back. Zzz, and you're pushing a little stream of air out. Kind of comes hissing out, doesn't it? And we don't feel much air when it comes out. Zzz, just a little bit of air. Okay? Now, this sound is called a thin stream. We've talked about this sound before, haven't we? So let's skip ahead and let's look at the sound pictures. So this is a picture. Let me copy it here real quick. And we'll take it back to our page. And we'll place it on our page here, okay? So this is called a thin stream. Is it stopped or continuing as a sound? Zzz. Well, we can continue it until our breath runs out, right? Is it open or blocked? Zzz. Blocked by our T. Is it voiced or unvoiced? Let's feel here. Zzz. I can feel my throat vibrating, so it's voiced. Okay, so let me write these words down for us now. So let me grab a pen. Choose a red one right now. There we go. And we have is, as, and his. Now, what letter do you see that's alike in each of these words? Okay, so I see that there's an S. Now, before the S. What letter do you see in each of these? I'm going to underline it in a different color. I see an I before the S, an A before the S, and another I before the S. Well, each of these letters is a vowel. And what do we know about vowels? All vowels are open and voiced. And so we are going to learn a new rule here right now. If we have let me change colors here. If we have a single S, that means an S by itself, after a voiced sound, it means a sound where our throat is vibrating, this S isn't going to make its usual sound like we're used to. It's not going to make the S sound like we're used to. It's going to say the Z sound. So, if there is a final S all by itself, not SS, but a final S, then if the sound before it is voiced, it's going to say the Z sound. And we have a picture card that can help us remember that. So let me grab our pictures again. And let me give you some clues. Okay, so what could be the key word for Z if it's an S making the Z sound? So think about it. Here's your clues. This is a part of the face that helps with the sense of smell. This feature has two openings called nostrils for breathing and for smelling. And it gets red and sore if you're sick with a cold. So what would that be? A nose. Okay? And if you'll notice, we have to code an S that says Z, and we'll code it with a voice line. And so, you know how we do a voice line on digraph TH when it's voiced? Well, S can get a voice line if it's voiced, as in the word nose. All right, so we had a little bit of new learning there, didn't we? Now, let's go on. And we're not ready for instant words. Give me just a second. I'm going to need for you to open up your binder. And we have practiced this letter before, haven't we? We've practiced the letter S. But this time, when we make the S, we're going to say S, Z, because it's the new sound that we've learned for it. If you've noticed, I am on page 97, so you need to turn to page 97 in your book. And let me grab a skinnier pen. Make sure you have a pencil. And the approach stroke for this letter S is a swing up stop. All right, we always start on the baseline for any lowercase cursive letter. Okay, and watch, it's a swing up stop. Okay, curve down and around, meet, release. Okay, so now it's your turn to try. I would like for you to name and trace this letter. That means you say its name, and let's even say its sound when we're done. Okay, start on the baseline. S, Z. Now, let's go next door. We're going to name it and make a copy. Start on the baseline. S, Z. Good. Now go below. Start on the baseline here. Name and make an additional copy. S, Z. Okay. Let's go back and do a bit of review now. So let me pull up my cards over here. We're going to come up to my letter S. Okay. So we've learned that S can say Z today. So S and then nose, Z. Let's try that again. S, nose, z. One more time. S, nose, z. All right. So let's now go pick up your pen again. Let's make our final copy right here. S, z. All right. I would like for you on page 97 to put a check mark up at the top of this page because this page just became homework. I would like for you to practice the letter S as many times as you can. All right. And you circle your best one. I wonder which one was my best one. I think maybe this one right here would be my best one. All right. Now, next, we're going to go to page 98. So I'm going to grab a different color of pen and turn to page 98. It's right by 97. And we're going to code and read some words. Now, I want you to copy this down. Pause the video if you need time, but we're going to be coding with a breve, which is a vowel in a closed syllable short, coded with a breve. And then we're going to have the letter S that is voiced. So we'll need a voice line through that. Let's get started here. So, number 1. A vowel in a closed syllable is short, coded with a breve. An S after a voiced sound says Z. Let's put a voice line through it. A vowel in a closed syllable is short, coded with a breve. An S at the end of a word following a voiced sound says Z. Put a voice line through it. All right. Let's go to let's read these. Is, has. Good. Now, we have been using is and has as instant words sometimes in our sentences that we get to circle. We don't get to circle those anymore, do we? We're going to have to start coding them. So let's go to number 2, a vowel in a closed syllable short, coded with the breve, voice line through S. A vowel in a closed syllable short, coded with the breve, voice line through S. And let's read these. As, his. Once again, these were words that we used to use as circled words because we didn't know how to code them. Now we do. All right, good job, everybody. Now, let me turn my page here. And we are going to start on our second part of our new learning. So give me a second to get that set up. All right, so on our new page, you've seen that I've written some words. And let's look, what do each of these words that are in blue have that is alike? Okay, can you see what they have that is alike in there? They all have an S at the end. Good. Now, let me cover up the S. And if you'll look, what we have is a base word in front of that S. Tin. Like that's a piece of metal, tin. If I cover it up here, pad. And here, tub. What do we know if we have a base word and there's a letter or letters after it? What have we created? Well, let's take a look here. We've created a derivative because we had a base word, if you'll notice, and we had a suffix added on to the end. So S can be a suffix, and when we put them together, we have a derivative. So let's look at these, and let's say these words. Echo them after me. Tins, pads, tubs. What did you notice about the S at the end of those? Tins, pads, tubs. They were a voiced S. But I want you to take a look. Let's look at the base word. Was the final sound of the base word voiced or unvoiced on this? voiced. So what did we talk about earlier? If there is a voiced sound before an ending S, it says Z, doesn't it? Good. Let's try this one. Pad, d, d. It's voiced, so the S is voiced at the end. Tub, b, b. Voiced again. So we have a rule that goes with this, okay? If a base word's final sound is voiced, a suffix S will also be voiced. All right, and remember how we code suffixes? We box suffixes. Good, so I'm going to box these. And what's important that we do to these after we've boxed them? They're voiced, so they all have to have a voice line in there. Good. Okay, now let's look at our other words over here. What do all of these words have that's alike? I notice they all have a final S. Now, let's say these words. Tips, slats, maps. They didn't say the voiced Z sound for S, did they? Let's cover each one of these up. What? We have a base word in front of there, don't we? Tip. And if I take that, tips. Slat, another base word. Slats. With a suffix S at the end, right? Map, maps. We have another set of derivatives, don't we? We had a base word, which was the word, and the suffix S. So we are talking about suffix S, aren't we? But this suffix S didn't make the same sound as these, did it? And I want you to notice why. When you have a suffix S before a final, in a base word, if the final sound is unvoiced, so let's listen to this, tip, p, p. Not voiced. Let's try it on the next one. Slat, t, t. That's not voiced, is it? Map, p, p. It's unvoiced. So our rule here is if the suffix S or final S comes after an unvoiced sound, the S will also be unvoiced. So I'm going to box our suffix S. So we're going to have to be careful about how we code on our next meeting, aren't we? Well, we've come to the end of this lesson, and we've talked about derivatives, which are a base word plus a suffix, and that we've learned that the final S, sometimes it can be voiced if it comes after a voiced sound, and sometimes it's unvoiced if it comes after an unvoiced sound. I hope you've had as much fun as I have. I miss you guys, and I wish y'all all the best for this next week. And until we meet again, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.